Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet.
What's up, guys? Thanks for joining us for another fantastic episode of Film Bluffs. As always, I'm your host, Jobe, and joined by me is my best buddies in the whole damn world. It's Trace and Marshall.
Hi, I'm Marshall.
Hey guys, it's Marshall. No, I'm Marshall. It was my pick this week. We watched the 2009 Star Trek, and my first impressions of this movie are not really first impressions because I watched this many times in my life, but a movie that can make me cry within 5 minutes is just a good movie. You know, I love this iteration of Star Trek. I feel like is a great stepping point for people to get into like the series of like if they like enjoy these, they can be like, yeah, I could watch more. It's a good 2 hours of fun. The sequels are fun too. There's decent action pieces. It looks really well on screen. The plot's not super convoluted, but still fun. Pays homage to the original series. I think it's just overall a really fun movie to watch. It's entertaining. Just if you don't take it super seriously, they gotta go flip. Well, they gotta go. You have a bunch of these Star Trek shits are just like, oh, what do we gotta do? We gotta go flip the whatchamacallit to do the whatchamathing. Oh, can we just do the whatchamacallit? No, we can't do that because of this thing. You're just like, oh, fair enough, and you just run with it. There's no need to like read into it. But see, that's where some people have issues on reading into things. Trace, what you think of the movie?
Their level. I like it. I'm not like a huge Star Trek nerd. I'm not like a huge fan of the series.
He's not an average size Star Trek nerd.
But I do like the movies and the shows enough. I haven't seen any like the new stuff. Like what is it? New Discovery? Is that the new thing that's been out?
Discovery and Brave New World.
Yeah.
Those are the two newer ones.
I didn't know about the Brave New World one. I know about Discovery, but I haven't seen them yet. But I'd be interested in checking them out. But I think that the cast in this is good. It's got some good people.
Yeah. Let's get into it really quick. Star Trek starts with the USS Kelvin. The USS Kelvin investigating a lightning storm in space is what they call it. And then, boom, a Romulan ship shows up and just starts blasting. Pew, 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 pew. And then it's like, all right, Kelvin, send your captain aboard. And the captain's like, okay, I'll come aboard. Chris Hemsworth, you're in charge while I'm gone, right? Captain goes aboard the Romulan ship. And the Romulans are like, yo, where's Ambassador Spock? And the captain's like, who the fuck are you talking about? He's like, what's the current day? And he's like, it's this day. He's like, fuck! And then they start blasting after killing the captain. At this point, Chris Hemsworth, who is George Kirk, piloting the ship, he's like, evacuate the ship! And then his wife's like, oh, we can't leave my husband because I'm giving birth. And he's like, no, I gotta stop the ship from attacking so that y'all can escape because the autopilot's off. So he sacrifices himself when his son James Tiberius Kirk is born. We have a couple of montages of growing up sequences of James Kirk and Spock, where James Kirk drives a fucking car off a cliff, jumps out of it. It's pretty sick. Young Spock beats the shit out of another dude. I think he also gets his shit rocked in that same scene. Doesn't matter.
No, he beats his ass pretty handily.
Well, I think he pushed him down, got punched in, and then the kid just started wailing on him for a sec. But it doesn't matter. Smash cut.
No, what happened? Marshall,
stop.
You're just getting... Marshall, you're just getting basic things wrong about the movie.
He pushes him down in the dog.
Oh, Marshall,
but then he grabs
you're drinking
him
a regular Coke, not even a Diet Coke?
Regular Coke. I guess the important part of that scene...
the corner.
You have your family to think
about. The important part of that scene
your family to think about.
is Spock is getting berated by his classmates for being half human and half Vulcan because he's on planet Vulcan. All the Vulcans think that his half human part is shitty because he feels emotion. And Vulcans are supposed to be logic-based beings with no emotion. Later on, Spock is grown up and he is admitted to the Vulcan Science Academy, and he's all like, I'm so smart. And they're like, you're so smart even though you had disadvantages. And he's like, what disadvantages? And he's like, oh, being half human. He's like, fuck you, I'm going to Starfleet. And then smash cut, James Kirk's hitting on, was it Gamora? In a bar, gets his shit kicked out of him. He does get the shit kicked out of him this one. This is like for sure he gets the shit kicked out of him. Captain Pike rolls up and he's all like, why don't you enlist in Starfleet? He's like, I don't wanna. He's like, your dad saved so many lives in 12 minutes. He's like, fuck, you've convinced me. So Kirk sits there. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna be captain in 3 years. It's gonna be fucking sick. I'm gonna get out of it. He meets Aomer. No, wait, what's his name? Fucking Bones. Leonard McCoy. He's like, I'm a doctor. Damn it. Boom, boom, boom. Later on, it's 3 years later. Commander Spock accuses Kirk of cheating during his Kobayashi Maru test. Kirk says, hey, that test is designed to fail. And Spock's like, yeah, you are supposed to be figuring out how to deal in a high-pressure situation, how to experience fear. Kirk's like, suck my ass. They receive a distress call from the planet Vulcan. Wah, 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 wah. They're like, yo, what's up? Everyone get out of here. Even though Kirk is at that point, like, grounded, McCoy ends up getting him on the ship. There's a fun sequence with him getting a vaccine and allergic reaction. Blah, blah, blah. Some banter. Kirk runs into my boy Pike. He's like, yo, we're running into a trap. It's that lightning storm that fucking destroyed my dad's ship. And everyone's like, this guy's fucking weird. He's a cheater. Pike's like, red alert. And they show up and everyone's fucking dead. The rest of the Starfleet, at least. And he's like, oh, fuck. But don't worry. He does the fucking captain of the Romulan ship's like, yo, send me your captain, dog. I know the Enterprise. I know Spock's there. Let me talk to Pike. And Pike's like, all right, come along. And you, Sulu, this very random white guy, and Kirk. And those three end up jumping onto a drill that the Romulan ship is drilling into the center of the Earth, center of Vulcan. And what they do is they disable it to stop them from drilling to the center of the Earth. However, Romulan ship shoots red matter down the hole, which causes a black hole in Vulcan, causing it to crumble and die. Spock beams to the fucking planet, gets out the High Council of Vulcan. His mom dies. Rough. Spock laments that he is now an endangered species. Pike is getting tortured by the Romulans. Spock and Kirk get into a fucking tussle. Spock says, get this fucker out of here! Kirk gets marooned on a planet. Shenanigans ensue. He meets an older Spock from an entirely different timeline, and who then tells him about what happened, where it's the future. Romulus, the planet, is threatened by a supernova, and Spock was like, I'm going to stop it. Did not stop it. Nero, the Romulan guy, saw his planet blow up, and so him and Spock got in a tussle, and they ended up going back in time. It was sick. And Nero grabbed Spock, threw him on the planet, and said, you're going to watch Vulcan get destroyed. And then that happened. But then it's okay. Elder Scott, Spock, and Kirk go to a fucking Starfleet outpost. They meet Scotty, and he's like, what's up? Where y'all been? He's like, fuck you. This is a transwarp beaming equation. And Kirk and Scotty are now on board the Enterprise. On the Enterprise, after shenanigans, Kirk provokes Spock into attacking him, which makes Spock relieve himself as emotionally compromised. And everyone's like, now what are we gonna do? And then fucking Sulu in the corner is like, well, Kirk was promoted to first officer, so now he's captain. And then fucking Spock and Kirk come in, guns a-blazing, pew, 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 get inside the fucking Romulans, pew, 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 kill everybody, save Pike, get everybody aboard, send in the ship, send in the red matter. At the end of the movie, Kirk is given command of the Enterprise, Pike's promoted to Admiral. Spock hangs out with older Spock, and he's like, dude, just chill out with Starfleet, I'll get Vulcan back on track. And then that's the end of the movie. Pretty much. A lot of stuff happened, but overall, I really like that they make the reference to the original series, by having this be a divergent like timeline
Yeah.
with huge references with Spock knowing everything that happens.
I do like that they kind of grab hold of that before it gets too out of the wheelhouse, where it's just like, oh yeah, it's a time thing, this is a different timeline, so don't bitch at us for it not being your cool TV show with William Shatner.
Right, and then this way they can like have the cameos of other characters, as in Leonard Nimoy. Really, that's pretty much the only one, and have him just be there and be like, "Hey, this happened." Jobe, what did you think of the movie?
Yeah, Jobe.
Dude, this movie rocked my fucking world. Let me tell you.
Have you seen this movie before?
Did you watch it?
I watched it once when it first came out in 2009.
And never again.
Dude, it's a good one. It's a good one. All right.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me tell you. I mean, like
in the studio today.
As a kid, the first time I watched it, the plot did confuse me for a fucking second. I couldn't put it all together, and then like later on, Spock started explaining everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, no, this makes sense. But it's sick. Characters are fun. They make references to the original show. Let's see what else.
Marshall's sitting in
I don't know. A lot of people hate the like lens flare thing that J.J. Abrams like throws everywhere with this one, but I think it's more like it's a choice, you know, and it's a fun choice. They're in space. Shit's wacky.
I'm just worried that the glare insists upon itself too much.
You can tell it's a Marshall pick because list of reasons it's good. It's fun, it's sick, it's epic, and it's fun.
Actually, epic is more of a Jobism.
Alright, you're telling me you're not sitting there, right? Sulu's trying to fucking fly the ship and it's not going, and then they're like, what happened? You got the parking brake on? He's like, alright, no!
100 with you. I was fighting to stay awake for a decent chunk of this.
No!
And it might have just been the carbon monoxide poisoning.
That's probably it.
Another.
You know what? Go watch the second one. I like the second one a lot better.
The second one, I seem to recall falling asleep.
Maybe that's just a you're tired thing, dog. Like, have you considered that?
An sleepy little guy. Huh?
Are you getting enough vitamin D?
Yeah. No. I'm inside all day, and it's winter, so there is no sun.
Yeah.
B12? B11?
Now my dog's barking.
B12.
So I doubt you guys can hear it because you can barely hear me on this fucking thing.
We can't hear
the
dog at all.
But
anyway,
so Joe, you said falling asleep.
The lens flare is very annoying. I hated it.
It would
especially
only be worse if the camera may have been tilted, like, say, this.
A lot, yeah, I did do that. But what's worse, I would argue, is the cuts. The cuts are just awful in some parts of the movie. Yes, Trace.
It doesn't matter what angle the camera is at because it's in space, and space does not have any inherent up, down, or sideways.
Okay, but when the focus of your scene is clearly standing upright, I don't give a shit.
Fair point. I'll concede because I wasn't actually that invested in this bit.
Fair enough.
Trace is unfair enough.
Trace, I respect that about you. You'll bail on a bit if it's run its course.
I did the part that I wanted, and that's all I cared about.
Okay, now, but you're telling me you're watching this movie.
I love Chekhov.
Yeah, Chekhov. What about him? He's fun.
He was.
He's the Russian. He's 17. He's the Russian
adjective.
Russian whiz kid. They poke fun at him with a Russian accent because he's supposed to do his activation security code, and he's all like Alpha 7 Victor 2, and they're like not recognized. Try again. It's Alpha 7 Victor 2.
I feel
and
like
he has like a really strong Russian accent the rest of the time, but it's still
there's
great.
a lot of racially charged moments in this movie.
Have you watched the original series? Because it is.
Okay, yes, but that was a different time where they're just racially charging everything they do. This one's just like, we're in an era where we're a bit more progressive, and Pike's just kind of sitting there going, well, who are you? Fucking Pavlov, Pavlovian, pulling, and he's like, Pevil, sir. And he's like, whatever.
It was Anton Chekhov Pavlovich. And he was pretty close. And then there's the fucking great scene with Chekhov, and he goes, "No, I can do it!" And he runs down the hallway. He's running. He's like, got him. And he locks in. They fucking beam him down, and he's like, "Oh yeah!" It was great.
He kicks ass. But there is a moment where Kirk and Spock are arguing when he beats his test, and then they get done arguing, and Bones comes over and he's like, "Hey, that was pretty rough." And he's like, "Who is that pointy-eared bastard?" And I'm like, "Oh, hey, I think." And
then, but then Bones says, "I don't know, but I like him."
I love Bones.
Fantastic.
I think Bones might be. It's hard to pick a favorite because the main cast is just real good for me. I like them all.
I do like
Sulu's pretty kick-ass.
Christopher Pine Kirk. He's pretty good. I think.
I like his Kirk.
No, it's fun. Yeah, I know what I said. Don't make fun of me for saying it's fun again.
Oh, I did over my head.
It's just at this point.
It's white noise to me.
It's alright. Sulu's great. Love Sulu. He has a little bit of like nerves, obviously, at the beginning.
Yeah. I like when they give him command for.
Pops off with the fucking katana. It's my favorite when they just like pass that shit around. You know, they're like, Spock, you have the con, and Spock's like, wait, hold on, no, Sulu, you have the con, and then they just start going around. And then she said, yeah, this is great because one guy will stand up to leave. To, go sit in the chair, and then a person will immediately be there to follow up and be in that
There's
seat.
a line of people waiting outside in the hallway, like, go!
They burn through captains.
Yeah, they do.
Dude.
Hey, that's war.
There's also that fun bit, I believe it was in this one, where they're like, paging medical, and then Bones answers, and he's talking, he's like, where is the senior head officer? He's like, he's dead. Well, you're now in control. He's like, yeah, no shit. That's also good.
I know, I'm doing my job. I'm a doctor, not a doctor. Fuck.
It is weird that the chief medical officer spends a lot of time on the ridge.
It's a terrible.
And he's like hanging out.
Because no one's hurt because he's good at his job.
Yeah.
No, disagree. A whole floor got disappeared.
Okay, but he can't do anything about that. All these people are dead. What are you doing up here? What am I gonna do? I'm a doctor, not a necromancer.
I think at some point it's like when you have like a head person at a hospital, they're not like actually doing surgeries. They're just kind of like managing,
Yeah. They call him Bones because everybody's bones are intact because he's head chief.
Man, they call him Bones because he does the bare bones.
No, at the beginning, because he says that his wife took the planet in the divorce or whatever, and so all he's got left is his bones.
It's a stupid reason to come up with a nickname. That was
okay.
I'm all out of pastrami. Now all I got is this damn Capicole, and now for the rest of my life, people just call me Capicole.
All right, what did you think of like the intentionally funny scenes? Like, for example, when
intentionally funny.
Or Chris Pine's like hiding under the bed or whatever, or what was the other one?
That was
the vaccine reaction.
That was pretty good.
With his hands, and he kept some bits that were funny. I don't find. I didn't like the parking brake bit just because. I don't know. I
think they needed a reason to have the ship be delayed compared to the other ones.
I feel like...
And so that... Because they needed that ship to be... the Enterprise to be behind everyone else, so that way when they tried to radio ahead, they wouldn't be...
de-icing for 6 hours. Just say there's a wind in Dallas and you can not fly for hours.
Hey, Dallas Airport, go fuck yourself. You fucking suck.
For context, the boys hung out in Houston, and then in order to fly out of Houston, we had to do a layover in Dallas, but we couldn't fly to Dallas for like 6 hours because of winds. But the plane that we were supposed to get on in Dallas left, so we could have just drove to Dallas and got on a plane.
I had to do a customer travel report for their debit card today because they were going on vacation. And I was like, all right, you're going here. So do you have any connecting flights that we need to maybe put on there as well? And she's like, yeah, we're stopping in Dallas, Texas. And I went, oh. I was like, you can't go.
Please,
you can't go.
please, anywhere else.
God have mercy
I
on
grabbed
your
her by her
soul.
big cheeks and went, you'll be there for days.
All right. Back on topic. What do you think of the scenes of the ships flying around, blasting each other?
Those are good. I like those.
Jobe's a big space guy.
While we're on the topic of things I like,
Spirits.
you know, J.J. Abrams does a lot of annoying shit, but he does also have some cool shots up in this bitch. I like the costume, set design, production design in general. I thought was very good. Like,
I mean, if you compare it obviously to like the TV show, it's gonna look a ton better, like a lot better. But it overall, it looks pretty realistic. Not like realistic.
Of it.
Yeah.
Although that being said, I can't see a decent chunk of it because of the lens flare. But...
Oh, shut up. One of my favorite parts where they're firing the weapons. There's two of them. It's at the beginning where Chris Hemsworth is like firing everything, and all the lasers and missiles are flying off at this fucking ship, and either not doing anything. But also the same thing happens at the end with Dunkirk. He's like, "All right, fire everything." Just giving big girl in the gun, slam the button to fire everything.
Yeah, it is funny. They're like, "You're gonna get sucked into a black hole. We could assist you." Nah. And then instead of just being like, let him go into the black hole, he's like, fuck it, shoot him while they're going down.
that was kind of more of like they wanted to feel good about themselves.
They wanted it. They didn't want to. They want to be like, all right, but we gave you the option. I guess we'll just kill you.
Now they're using artillery, right? They're not just using energy weapons, right?
Some of them are. Some of them are like photons.
It's like there's like phasers and which are just essentially like lasers, but then they also have proton torpedoes.
Lasers.
Are they lasers?
Joe, what did you think of the Treasure Planet moment where they ride the wave out of there?
Good. You gotta admit.
So, I mean, I messaged you guys as it was happening.
You just said they copied that from Treasure Planet. You didn't give a thought on it, really?
Yeah. I was just letting the people at home listening know that, like, I was on that shit. I didn't hesitate.
Yeah, no.
It did kind of ruin the moment for me because, I mean, I couldn't hear the actual score or what characters were saying because in my head,
you're just thinking.
No.
That's the same thing happened in my mind, but like I think it's fun. As stated previously, obviously.
It's fun? Is it fun? Is it fun yet, bud?
I feel like this movie does a really good job at showing what it'd be like to play space teams with your friends. Because it's just everybody shouting over the comms, go! He's like, I'm going, I can do this.
Trace, you have a VR headset. Did you ever play that Star Trek Bridge Commander game?
Is it on the Quest?
I think so.
No, but I would love to give it a try. You and I could do it. You have a Quest.
Yeah, I guess I do.
It's in your.
Last thing I played on was FNAF.
Oh yeah, it is on Quest. Yeah, we'll have to try that sometime. All of us.
Back to your point of Space Team, I just love that. Like everyone's just super calm and collected, and then as soon as anything happens, everyone's just screaming at each other.
So
I mean, that seems pretty accurate to most. I've worked at.
As you get a big rush hour order at like a diner or something, everyone's yelling, but like this one's obviously high stakes. You just love it. It's obviously there's like the big, everyone's screaming, you really can't tell, and then they'll like cut in close to like Sulu, turn around, it's like, sir, shield's at 32%. We can't take another hit like that. And you're like, oh fuck, they can't take another hit like that.
Can't take another.
What are they gonna do?
If they take another hit like that, they're done.
And then Nero's face shows up on the screen. He's like, fuck you, Captain Pike.
Actually, one other thing I very much would like to mention is I don't know if I like it or not, but Nero's performance, Eric Bana or Bana, it's so weird because he's equal parts. Like he'll hop on the comm and he'll be like, "I am the bringer of your demise," and then there's other times where he's like, Yeah, they just let my fucking planet blow up, and it's bullshit, right, guys?
Well, if you think about it, right, he's not
Very
supposed to,
different.
he's not really like this huge evil mastermind. He's just a miner. Like, that's a mining ship supposedly in the future.
A miner!
Right? So, like, he's like, what am I supposed to do? I think I have to brood. Right? For 25 years, I brood.
Why is the inside of their ship so wet and dark?
Because it's a mining.
I'm assuming
It's a spaceship.
You have to keep the
they haven't,
metal wet.
like, they haven't done much. They're just like, fuck it, dude. That's our operating room. That's where we keep it wet.
We're
Just nice and
coal miners.
moist and
Keep the coal
humid.
wet so it doesn't
Where did you
catch on
get
fire.
this ship anyway?
It's a mining ship.
Yeah, from Minotron 3. Stupid.
Brewers.
It's in the future.
Look, all I'm saying is, Marshall, what was your last pick?
Whoa.
Star Trek.
No,
Good. That's
before-
good. That was a good answer.
Before Star Trek was The Grinch, Jim Carrey Grinch, or before that was Pacific Rim.
Ooh, Pacific Rim. That was the last
Oh.
great Marshall movie.
Wow.
Damn!
Sorry, I was just
gave
about to
Grinch a
say, like,
6.
listen. I mean, it's not like you pick bad movies because Transformers won, and then I was like, oh wait, that was technically
My
a
pick.
Trace pick, wasn't it?
No, Star Trek's a fun movie, right? And yes, it's fun, it's entertaining. You can watch it, meet it at its level, and be like, man, this is a good time. I'm enjoying myself, right? And then you watch the second one where you have Khan, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is sick. And then you get the third one where they got Beastie Boys. But the first one, here we are. You're watching it. You're just watching some nice science fiction. You're having a great time, right? You know, they're just bringing a little old Iowa, little old Vulcan little boy. You know, they have their issues, but they're going to grow up and they're going to be best friends, right? And this is that story of them becoming best friends. Winona Ryder is there. She's a human. She dies pretty quick.
So,
And
do you think Spock's infertile?
why would you say that?
Because most half-breeds, I thought, were infertile.
Like, inherently?
I think he's probably fertile. Him and
Like
Lieutenant
you.
Uhura are meeting up, or like hooking up.
That's so weird. Like, how did that happen? What was the fucking pickup line?
He did.
In this second one, they have this really fun bit
Oh, yeah.
where Spock and Uhura are like fighting, and Kirk's like, "Oh my god, are you guys fighting? What is that even like?" And then they like go into.
Spock did have a kid in one of the iterations of Star Trek, though.
His name was Spock.
There's also
No, I doubt
there's
it.
also
It was Spock.
there's also a bit where Spock dies and then gets reborn as a little boy and then grows like really fast, and then they have to transfer someone's mind into his body.
And
Anyways,
Spock gets traveled through time, and he's all like, "I'm Leonard Nimoy.
I'm
And
here.
I'm very sleepy now."
no, there's comedic bits in there that are always so fun. When they
Just
get on that
help
spaceship that I can't. Where old Spock's spaceship, and young Spock gets on there, and he's like, "Ship" or whatever, and it's like voice command recognized. Welcome back, Ambassador Spock. And Kirk's just like, "Oh, that's weird." Anyways, moving on. And Spock's like, "You're keeping something from me. Maybe. Who knows?"
I'll never tell.
The little
Marshall, you think Zachary Quinto was justified in making that hostess cry at that restaurant?
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Justified, but he is validated.
What do you think of the little small Starfleet dude that hang out with
Scotty?
Scotty, yeah.
I love that guy. He kicks
Just a little
ass.
bug guy?
Yeah,
You can eat like a bean.
I just think it's funny because he's just constantly
I just
like,
meant-
no climbing on anything, and then we pan over, and the guy's just like kicking his feet over the edge, sitting on a big fuel cell.
Down.
It's just if Rocky was an alien.
Ugh, gross. Yeah, but this thing's like 33 times smaller.
Bro, and they just like, hey, go full Scottish and just full send it, you know? It's so good.
Dude, is it just
Scotty.
me, or did Simon Pegg's head get weirdly shaped by the end of the movie?
I think that's just you,
Like,
dog.
I swear, every time the camera cut away and then cut back, he had like a new lump on his skull.
You probably got.
I mean, being around radiation doesn't do good. Doesn't do you good for lumps.
Ah man, it would be great if Scotty was just.
Oh,
Totally
I'm full up lumps now. I can tell you that
I'm
much.
all lumps.
Oops.
Trace,
Yeah.
I need to hear more of your opinion because I feel like you liked this, but if
Yeah.
you didn't, then just say, Marshall, I didn't like it, and then we'll move on to something more
We'll just
productive.
move on. We'll just start talking about the next movie.
I liked it. I think it's fun. I think it's entertaining.
All right, dig a little deeper. Come on, you're really surface level. You're surface level. You need to dig deeper.
I think they did a really good job with the cast. Everybody on the cast looks great. They're all pretty. They're all cute. I think we have some pretty fun people here. I like that they give little hints to Sulu being captain later by giving him command towards the end. I think that's a fun thing to just kind of hint at for the people who have seen some of those older Star Trek shows. I just, I like it. I think it might be my favorite of the three. I don't know if I like the second one as much, but I definitely like it better than the third.
I think for me, this is kind of off topic because we haven't seen the second one. The second one is really helped by the first one doing a lot of the setup because the second one there's not very much setup, so it's just kind of like
do shit.
Hey, there's an explosion, there's Khan, let's figure some shit out. But the first one, there's a lot of like build up for like knowing these, like even though we know Kirk and Spock's backstory, they gotta set it up a little bit. But something I kind of like is in this one, there's not super. They don't do like a ton of here's exposition. They just kind of show you bits. They're not really on.
Pieces.
He was born in this place. It's just like, no, this is how he was born. This is how he was as a kid. This is when he was older. They're not really just like telling you straight up. They're showing you.
Yeah.
One time they actually just go on and just say everything is when Kirk meets old Spock and he's like, this is what went down really quick. Let's get going.
This is what you would have had happen to you if time hadn't been fucked with. And then he kisses him on the mouth or something. I don't remember.
Jobe's going to say something that's going to hurt my feelings.
I hope so.
Of our little trio here, who is the Kirk and who is the Spock? All right.
There's three of us.
Yeah.
Craig.
What?
Well, yeah. Well, here we go. Let's first decide who is Kirk and who is Spock.
I'm obviously Kirk.
Would you get fuck any alien that said "Hey" to you?
That's not all there is to me. That's not all I am. But he does get with Alice Eve in the second one, and she's really cute.
Bones would be all like, Jim,
This
species, they're well known for their horrible STIs, and you'd be like, I'll use a spondum.
Space condom.
I was Spock condom.
Spock condom.
It just has Spock's face on the tip.
Ew. Jobe, you definitely be Bones.
Perfect. I always wanted
you're too emotional to be Spock.
Spock is emotional. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
he's the biggest baby in the whole movie.
That's why Marshall is Spock. Because he's got a lot of emotion
Spock.
that he doesn't like to show.
Nah, I'm definitely Kirk. Fuck y'all, I'm cool.
Yeah, well,
Too
some of us
emotional.
are actually from Iowa.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. I'm
Kirk isn't. He was born in fucking space.
Oh, I said it first. I know where he lives. I'm fucking Kirk.
in Iowa, in the town where Kirk's apparently from, they have on their "Welcome to" sign the birthplace of Captain Kirk in about.
So the deal with that is in the original show they never said where he's from. They just said a small town in Iowa, and so the mayor of this town went one day. He's like, "Fuck it, Kirk's from here," and then they're just like, "We're like, all right, I guess."
All right, roll
You know
time.
what sucks though is in
We
like
did
400
years.
years, some poor baby is going to be named James Tiberius Kirk.
Dude, what a
Probably.
shitty middle name though. Let's be real, Tiberius is
Yeah.
a middle name.
Yeah, shout out to Kirk's mom who said, "Hey, let's name him after your dad." And he went, "Tiberius is a horrible name. Don't do that to the boy." And she went, "Okay, yeah, definitely."
Wait, was your last wish you wanted me to do that? Because I didn't hear you when you
wanted
died.
me to name him after your dad? Okay.
I did think it was funny. I thought it was funny when he's flying to his death. There is no going back. He's already committed, but he's on the phone with his wife, and his wife is like, "You should be here. And it's like, you're trying to lay on the guilt right now? I'm gonna be dead in 12 seconds.
I saved your life, but okay,
Dude, that first scene though, and I'm crying, and
Why
I'm
are you
just like,
crying?
it's
My
just,
God.
I don't know, man.
He tells
He's
his
not
wife that
Spock.
he tells his wife that he loves her, and Marshall can resonate with that.
It was
All
just
right.
that
He
whole
loves his
scene
wife. Get off his
of
back.
the dad is ready to sacrifice
Hear
everything
me
for
out.
his kids.
Taking a step back
And
in
Marshall's
the
dad died
conversation.
when he was 7.
This is why I should be Spock, because when I feel emotional, I lash out in violence.
Okay.
Fair.
Spock did. He's all like, "Oh, you talk about my mother, I'm gonna fucking choke you. Give me your fucking
Ooh, Vulcan pinch.
Dude, the Vulcan death grab.
Yeah.
Dude, classic.
death kiss."
I like that he tries to do that to Khan in the second one, and Khan's just kind of like, nope.
Khan's
It
like, I
tickles.
flex my shoulder just right.
Yeah.
Moving my pressure
Like
point.
Vulcans are just inherently stronger because their gravity field is heavier than Earth's, but then Khan in the second movie is like, actually, I'm stronger than you though.
Fuck Vulcans.
But there's this,
Yeah.
there's this second movie, and there's that bit where young Spock's talking to old Spock, and young Spock's like, "Hey, you met a man named Khan?" And old Spock's like, I vow never to tell you about the future. However, Khan is very fucking dangerous, so I will make an exception for this.
I know we didn't watch the second one, but I feel
we
like part of
should.
it is it is an interesting question because we have Leonard Nimoy and this is old Spock, and we have young Spock. How would you feel if old man Marshall, old man Jobe popped into the past, couldn't get back home, and then like a few years later he died
Just
of old
hung
age?
out.
Because like because old Spock dies in the second one because he just is old, and then
Who dies in the
Spock's-
third
is it the
one?
third one? Oh, whoopsies!
That would make
But
sense.
it's just like Spock's just like, oh man, I'm sad.
Well, he dies in the third one of old age because Leonard Nimoy died between 2 and
True.
3.
What a bastard.
Yeah, and that's why they had to get Rutger Hauer to voice Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts 3.
And they also had to talk about Anton Chekhov Pavlovich dying
Oh,
because
yeah.
he also died between the second and the third one.
Yeah, that was sad. I liked him as an actor.
And a lover.
Me too.
Not enough to go to his funeral,
Ooh.
but it's only because I wasn't
Oh.
invited.
Interesting.
So,
So, Joe, you've mentioned
old me.
lens flare was sucked.
Wait,
You also mentioned that you were falling asleep. But what parts really kept you awake for it, Joe? Because you said you didn't fall asleep, but there were, so it must have been entertaining enough.
It was
The
around
fear
the
of
time she
carbon
was taking her
monoxide
shirt off.
poisoning.
You knew with this carbon monoxide, you really got that
Also,
sort
if I
of.
fell asleep during the movie, that'd be actually that'd probably be a just fine episode, to be honest.
Dude, I would.
Anyway.
I'd be mauling honestly if you fell asleep and you're like, I wasn't entertained by this. I'd be like, but it's so fun, and then you guys would yell at me for saying fun for the 50th time this
I
episode.
say you guys like I'm
So-
sitting here berating you for using a singular word. It's just
Well, you never really hop into my fucking defense, Trace. So
Well,
essentially,
it's
you're dead.
because-
And the thing
it's
with Marshall
because
is,
it's
if
funny.
you're not actively fighting for him, you're against him.
well, it's mainly because Marshall absentmindedly goes, "It's just fun," and Jobe immediately goes, "Is it? Yeah, it's fun. It's fun for you. Is it fun now? Are we
But
having a
it
good
is.
time?"
How else would you describe it?
And
It's
I think-
adventurous.
And you know what? I think
Poorly
that
paced.
interaction when we
It's not
have
cute,
those
dude.
is fun.
The action scenes, they're just
Joseph's-
not. Action scenes just aren't well put together.
Okay,
Are
but
they?
they're
Dude,
fighting.
Jobe
But they're
is-
fighting on the drill though, and that's pretty kick-ass.
The fighting on the drill kicks ass when Sulu almost goes under the drill
Yeah.
part where
It's
the
just like,
fire's coming out and kicks up. It's sick, and then he like fucking kicks that guy in the chest, and he stumbles back, and then gets fucking. Then there's the red shirt guy who just fucking
Yeah.
like
Oh,
biffs it hard
yeah, they
and
do
fucking
keep the red
dies.
shirt.
They
That's
do the
it.
red shirt thing.
It's always good. It's always so good.
And then they're like, "What do we do now?" And they're just like fucking blast it. Pew 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 pew.
Hear
He
me
has the
out.
charges. I know. Beep, 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 beep. I'm hearing you out, Job. I'm sorry.
They have Kirk's fighting the one dude, right? He's like, right? They're all fighting. They're like, It's not picking up, is it? They're all like,
It's-
and then,
Yeah.
and then other guy comes up and he's got Kirk dead to rights. But he waits until Zulu can fly in, almost die, and then pull himself
Well,
back
yeah,
up, and
he's
then pull
polite.
out. Yeah, it's just bullshit,
They're
man.
evil,
It's
but they have manners.
stupid.
Job, it sounds like you're really not meeting the movie at its level.
Well, its level is these guys are bad motherfuckers.
No,
and
their
you should be
level is
careful.
space.
No, they're just regular old fucking miners.
Look, I'm just
Then why
saying,
are they so fucking hard to kill?
it's funnier this way.
It's a mining
No,
ship.
they're
Why
just-
can't you just shoot it out of the sky?
That's pretty good.
Because it's not in the sky, it's in space.
Ooh.
No. When it's
It doesn't get into the sky until
when
episode 2.
when it's drilling
then
into Volcania, the
Volcania is good.
volcano. It's got to be in the atmosphere.
No.
Okay, I counter with this. It's a super advanced ship from the future.
Fuses.
Why are they investing so much
In
in
the future?
laser prevention technology in the future for their mining ships?
In case they get.
Well, did you see the size of it compared? Like, you saw the size of the mine ship was like this, and then the Enterprise is like
In
this.
case-
Enterprise, it's not a military vessel.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Besides-
Starfleet is not a military organization. They're explorers. They're scientists. They're just
Who
trying to
have
make their way in the
guns.
universe.
Also,
and
Earth
help
is
with
about to get blown up.
civilization.
You mean to tell me y'all couldn't get any of the other fleet to come down?
They're
Maybe do a
busy.
drive-by just to make sure they're okay? What the fuck could be so important?
They went off to explore new worlds.
You don't
No, the
understand.
issue is they get brought up
You're
in the
at a
second
Sandals
one.
Resort.
That Starfleet, they have too many rules and regulations
That's true.
that, you know,
And
kind
that's
of
your
constrict what they have to
You're all
do.
tied up in bureaucracy.
Right, which
You're
is
not
why we
able to
need
take
James
action.
Kirk. Because James Kirk goes, I don't give a shit about policy and procedure. We're gonna go save the
so
human man.
Stupid. And then
Guys.
Spock's like, I guess we're friends,
Guys.
huh? And then Kirk's like, I guess we
Guys.
are.
Remember
Because
when
you
made
tried
fun of
to
my
choke
dead
me
mom?
out and then
Yeah.
pouted.
Mwah! I love you.
What do you guys
Let me
think
tell
of
you
the...
something. No matter how bad this movie may be, it's fun, it's entertaining, it's an 8 out of 10.
Aw.
What do you guys think of the There's Always a Bigger Fish scene when he's on Delta Vega getting
That's
chased by the
from-
weird
That's
looking
the
polar bear?
prequels. You
Yeah.
can't fool me.
Dude, it's so good. It's just you see this weird ass monster running after Kirk, and you're like, oh, he's gonna get him, and then a bigger monster shows up, and you're like, is he gonna eat the other guy and Kirk's gonna get away safely? No, he's gonna throw that polar bear at a fucking cliff, scream at Kirk, and then chase him, fall down a cliff with Kirk. Like, he doesn't even like want to go down the cliff. He's like, nah, I'm done, and then just
What are you doing?
biffs it. This huge ass dude just rolling down the cliff. It's so funny.
I love you too, but why are we doing this right
Is
now?
it? Were you lolling? Were you
It is
lolling
funny.
your little
Was it
ass off?
fun?
I was laughing at that. The Chekhov scenes.
Sorry, my
What
face
else was there that I was
Jeez.
laughing at?
It's
When
short.
Scotty
This
gets
is
trapped in
comedy
the-
of the year.
Fuck you.
I
I love the
don't
scene at the
even,
beginning where
have
he's
that negative of
jumping out the car.
I just
Yeah.
maybe I'm just jealous.
Yeah.
I'm jealous because I can't feel the same joy Marshall does at mediocre movies.
Dude, when he's driving the car, he's just fucking driving, and the stepdad's like, "Don't you scratch that car!" And he hangs up, and he turns on the Beastie Boys to full blast, and he's like, "What?"
What's
Waving at his
the
friends to
Beastie
go
Boys?
by.
That's hundreds of years old at this point. That's like if Trace turned on fucking Mozart when I got in his car. I'd fucking kill him.
Yeah, they reference on the third one. She's like, the one person's like, "Hey, you got music?" Yeah, and she puts in the Beastie Boys, and he's like, "Ooh, a classic, the classics, or classical, or something like that."
Okay,
but
man.
and then the police officer's like, "Citizen, pull over," and he goes. It's pretty much the beginning from Treasure Planet, where he's running away from
He's
the
right,
cops.
you know.
Yeah, everything good about this movie. It was stolen from Treasure Planet.
Right.
What about when he flips the guy his motorcycle keys? He's like, here's my keys.
I'm not gonna need these anymore. I do like that motorcycle. I like how the wheels are, or the tires are gravity based. Or,
What does
He likes how the
what did
tires
Kirk do
spin.
for work
Yeah.
at that
Yeah,
point?
but
Was
they're
he just-
not on any mechanical thing, Marshall. They're all magnetized, and I think that's pretty fucking cool. You know what? This
did
movie
you do
sucks.
for
3 out of 10.
work? Wait, is this the one where does this movie have bones going out of you? Are you out of your corn-fed mind? Because I love that bit.
I don't know.
He says, "Are you out of your Vulcan?"
I'm pretty sure he says it.
He does say Vulcan mind.
Oh, that's really good too. I'm pretty sure he says in this one, right?
Another racially charged comment.
To Kirk, are you out of your corn-fed mind? Because Iowa.
Yeah.
Like,
Shout out to
I'm
Iowa.
just
I also like how. Hold on, pause. Zoe Saldana coming in, just going, Spock, why the fuck am I assigned to the fucking Farragut? And he's like, I didn't want to show, like favoritism. She's like, no, I'm badass, bitch. You're assigned to me to the goddamn Enterprise. And he's like, all right, you're assigned to the Enterprise. And then later on, this dude's like, dude, I can't change. I don't know what's different between Romulan and Vulcan. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And Pike's like, you, bitch, do you know Romulan? All fucking dialects. He's like, all right, you're fired. You're in. He says it more tactfully, relieve the lieutenant of his duties. And her was like, or something like that.
I don't like that.
Why does everyone except the guy assigned to running the warp drive know how to, or the teleporter, the beam me up Scotty mobile?
Yeah.
Why does everyone else except the guy assigned to it know how to do it? Because in the first bit, when Sulu and
Chekhov.
Marshall,
Kirk.
Sure.
Sue and Marshall from
are falling, he's like, "No, I can do it because I'm the one who makes the lunch announcements." And then he gets down there and he knows how to do it.
No, it's because he's the Russian whiz kid. He's good at this. He was manually targeting them. They were just locking in on their signal because they were moving too
And
fast.
then later on, then they have like, "Oh, yeah, I can fucking do it because I'm from fucking Scotland."
Hello, everybody. I would like to let you know we are taking off soon. We are engaging all fuel drives. We will be having pizza cut into rectangles in the cafeteria today. Also, I can beam people up as they are moving. Thank you.
Dude, when Chekhov gets in, we are going to respond, and he just gives him the whole spiel, and then Kirk sits
Chekhov
up, and his
doesn't
hands are
even-
fucking massive.
Chekhov doesn't even have a gun. What the fuck's up with that?
I don't know. He should have a gun.
They had the phasers and go, pew 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 pew.
That shit was stupid too. Just these three guys running through the middle of your fucking ship,
Yeah.
and you're just. I swear, the Romulans shot each other more than they shot at the fucking.
They are the stormtroopers.
They're worse than stormtroopers.
It's ship's too big. Ship's too big.
Yeah, too
Maybe
much
they had to
surface-
resort to
too much
cannibalism in the
surface
25
What?
years. I don't know.
Why? All that water you couldn't
I don't know.
up and get McDonald's. I'm not even making good
What did you
arguments
think?
at this point.
What did you think of the overall plot? Like the actual story?
Boring.
What was your mouth feeling? From someone else.
Oh, me?
Trace.
Trying to think of a word other than fun. It was pretty good. I didn't hate it. It was a little bit generic, but they did have their own kind of unique twist to it because it's already kind of got its own fan base, so they're able to kind of just quink. We're gonna tweak that a little bit, so it did make it a little bit more unique in some senses.
Such as.
Ooh, I didn't think you were gonna ask me that. Well, they are, a lot of things would just go with the, hey, I'm from the future. They're like, okay, he must know everything that's gonna happen. No, why not? I can't tell you. But this one's they actually play with the idea of well, we have to be unpredictable because he's from the future, and Spock's like, dipshit. That's implying that it's a butterfly effect and not, in fact, multiversal theory. That it could be either one of those things. So the thing we need to do is the thing that I want to do. And then they're like, hey, here's what the original timeline was. You're on a different one now. So things could be similar, but we're going to be a little different too. They give you what you want straight out. They explain why shit's going wacky and it's not the same as the things before.
It's a good thing too, because my dumb gamer brain can't comprehend a remake. Not exactly
Job is just too
following the
used
plot of the
to
original.
short form content. If it's longer than 6 seconds, Joe can't handle it.
So fucked up. I'm not even on TikTok.
Yeah, you are. You got
I
bullied
have
into
it, but I'm never on it.
Job stopped posting the TikTok the day after it got banned.
Dog, I tell you,
For real.
you can't tell me y'all are gonna get banned, have me delete my account, and then come back, and I'm supposed to just crawl back like nothing ever happened. No, you
Why'd you
made
delete
your
it?
choices. I didn't. I'm fucking lying.
Let's take a quick Capri Sun break.
Yeah, for like a
At a
second.
brisk 50 minutes in.
So yeah,
Yeah.
quick one. We'll be right back to give our final thoughts or something like that. Who knows?
And we're back.
All right, so
welcome
Joe,
back.
like the coward he is, talked about a movie that we didn't watch off the air, so I couldn't talk about it. But I'm bringing it up. He talked about Old Boy, where they were fighting him one-on-one when there's a group of them, and he was bitching about how the people were waiting to fight Kirk on the drill. There's no difference. That means Old Boy's bad.
Okay.
I
Marshall,
just
you.
want to say that if this movie isn't like high level cinematography, it's not going to make you leave the theater or the movie room or
Oh, he broke.
your couch
Oh,
or your laptop.
laptop.
Am I back? Hello?
Hello.
Am I there?
Yeah.
Buddy.
Hello?
Hi, big guy. Don't move so
Am
much.
I there? Am I here? Can you hear me? You know, you're not going to leave after watching this and be like, wow, that was intellectually stimulating. I feel like I've been elevated. My questions have been asked that I do not have the answers to. You know, you're just going to go in and you're leaving like, yeah, that was a great time. I had a great time. It was, you know what? Sue me. It was fun. All right. I was entertained. It was fun. It was a good time. That's the kind of movie this one is. All right. That's some high class whoop-de-doo. Job's over here watching that one movie that Vivarium and thinking about the metaphors. No, this is just dudes in space fighting other dudes in space in a science fiction setting, and it's fun, entertaining, it's adventurous, and it just turn your brain off for a little bit, soak it all in, bathe in it, and experience it, and it's a great time.
Cool. I didn't like it that much. I think if you want space fighting, you can get that from Star Wars. Kind of just does it better.
It's just two different things. You got like religious sci-fi, and then you got like just futuristic, straight, hard, more sciencey sci-fi. Not like religious.
All right. Well, I guess if you want that,
sci-fi.
you know, there's Dune.
Being a bit more of a fan of Star Wars, I will agree that Star Trek does so much better at actually explaining their science rather than George Lucas going.
What did they explain? What the fuck is
okay.
red matter? Tell me what red matter is.
A, I don't
in the name,
know.
dog.
It's matter and it's red. And B, I just mean in the whole scope of Star Trek. Like in the show, they explain why their science works. In Star Wars, George Lucas does just go, yeah, Luke got to Bespin at the same a little bit. It took him some time though, because it took them some time.
Buy? George,
Yeah.
I can't understand a word you're saying. Speak up.
I'm gonna buy the new Xbox. It's Halo Edition.
Wait, are you talking about the Series X? It's been out for years.
No, the very first Xbox.
Oh, he's buying the Xbox.
Yeah, this is back in the day. So
I didn't get a PS2. That's what Battlefront was on.
PlayStation sucks. Also, I think Battlefield was also on the 360.
Hey Siri. It didn't work.
That's
Let me try
fine.
again.
I played.
Hey
it on
Siri.
there, so I just know.
What console did Battlefront 2 release on?
Why 2, not 1?
What the fuck's a GameCube?
Nothing much. What's a game?
Oh. But yeah,
Anyway.
in short, in long, in medium, whatever you want to say, entertaining movie, but not super thought-provoking. Fun action sequences, makes you cry, has some fun, lighthearted comedic bits in it. I'm gonna give it. Ooh, this is hard. No.
Okay.
Ooh, we're gonna give it an 8.3125. Yeah, I think that's good.
All right. Good. Jobe, explain why it's a 5.
I feel like that's a solid answer. You know.
Tell us why it's a 5, Jobe.
I mean, that's what I've been trying to do this whole episode. Like, it's a completely fine movie. You know, I've had some pretty good slices of toast, and yeah, sometimes I want toast. I can understand why somebody likes toast, but at the end of the day,
I like mine with cinnamon sugar on it.
Yeah, but like when at the end of the day, week after week, you're trying all sorts of foods, and like you're stacking it up against a steak or a lobster, or a nice pasta.
Whoa! Why are we comparing the?
I can't.
You're gonna tell me you watched this movie and you finished it and you said there was no fun in that. That was just complete. That was a movie. That was a series of pictures.
Strawberry though.
Look, I'm not calling it a fucking protein.
But I will say,
I'm not calling it a goddamn toast.
No fun while watching.
I'm calling it toast.
I would put egg on toast occasionally.
But it's good toast.
It's pretty good
putting
toast.
Bacon next
God damn it,
James!
But you know what I would much prefer? A nice buttery biscuit.
That's true. Oh, like a cheddar biscuit though.
Now I don't have a movie in mind that I'm going to call a biscuit.
Biscuit?
And
so it's a 5. So it's a 5, Joe.
It's a 5. But wait, you didn't let me finish my analogy. And sometimes for breakfast, all I want is some Korean guy fucking his daughter.
No.
Anyway,
Trace, what's your score?
He's gonna be perfectly between us.
I thought about
6.5.
You sick bastard. Now I have to give it a 2.
No.
You know, there's some good things here. There's some bad things here. One thing I'd like to point out: they call bones because back in the day, surgeons were referred to as sawbones, and he's a doctor. But you know,
he's not a doctor. He's a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. As fun as this movie is, as entertaining as it is, as on its level as I am, it really brings into the perspective of the movies that Marshall goes, it's just fun. It's fun, guys. And those ones me not liking and knowing that like I can agree with Marshall on this is one fun thing that I can just go, ooh, movie. It really solidifies my opinions of the other ones where I went, oh, okay, that is actually shit. But also this one specifically doesn't have Alice Eve in it, who is probably the hottest person to come out of this Star Trek franchise. So I'm gonna give it a 6.52.
Okay, now imagine that you're doing the second one. What would you give the second one? That one has Alice Eve in it.
Alice Eve is if we call the episode Alice Eve, 10 out of 10.
Really?
A 6. You know what? We can take the 6.52.
Oh god, hey, no, stop that.
What does she look like?
But
She's hot. Leave her alone.
we'd like to thank everybody, all the Jabronocrons, for gathering with us today. Next week we're watching a Trace pick. Everyone give it up for Trace. We're watching Tron Legacy in preparation for the new Tron movie coming out either this year or next year, right?
Yeah. With Jared Leto or something.
Oh, keep an eye out for a special guest on next week's episode.
Keep an eye out as if he's not gonna be right in front of him.
Listen, it's stupid to bring it up. It's not like anybody who listens to this is gonna get hyped up when they hear like, "Ooh, Joe's gonna be."
Keep an eye out. See if you can find him, and he's just in the corner over here, like, I actually really like the movie.
Last week we said to follow us only maybe on TikTok if it got banned. It did get banned for about 12 hours. It's back. So if you try to follow us during that 14-hour period, you can follow us again.
Now,
our social media manager.
It's still possible to get banned.
Not for 90 days.
Our social media manager said he's going to start posting a lot
I didn't say that.
more. But follow us on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube at Film Buffs Pod. We loved having you here.
Hey,
have a great
this is
time.
an
We'll see you
order from
next
your
week. Bye
captain.
bye.
Go drink a milkshake because you deserve
Ooh,
it.
I really want a milkshake. Oh, with toast?